Hi, Mike DePung here, and welcome to Spirit Hill, spirit healing in or into love and light. And I'm showing you this while I'm speaking because these were instrumental for me this morning in a very important way that I'm not planning on sharing completely. But I wanted to point out a few things. You see the oracle cards, and there's a very specific sequence of reading those cards in a wheel kind of assembly there, you see. And there's a candle, and there's my animal speak book that I often use as a reference, and my journal where I write and where my intuition works, and where spirits and my helpers, my unseens, channel through me. And why do I show you all of this? Well, I show you all of this along with a few other things, like this beautiful little onion plant that has been a volunteer from last year, and it's really gorgeous, and volunteer seeds from some cantaloupes from last year, and the wind that is blowing, whoa, sorry about that, that is blowing all about me right now. It's probably uh, holds a storm, and a little bit here holds a possibility of a storm. So, why am I showing you these things? I'm showing you these things because they are elements, they are all tools in one way or another that I use for healing and love and light. Things that have developed for me probably over the past decade or so. Some much more recent, like the cards. Others, others I've had for many years. But here's my point today. This is obviously a very impromptu video here. I care about any of you who might stop by to listen. I hope that you're doing well. And then when I say welcome, when I begin with that, I always mean that. Welcome. I'm really happy that we can share in this. I could teach you, because I am a fairly good teacher, I could teach you about those things that I just showed you, those tools, and that can be helpful. But my emphasis in this very short video today is just this. It begins with, if you care about your own healing, if you care about your joy, your happiness, your sense of beingness in this world, it's got to begin with knowing self, exploring your own soul. And when you do that, when you awaken, and it begins with awakening to the to the truth, to my truth at least, that we are spirit incarnate, and each of us, as our individual selves with all of our talents and abilities and everything else, live spirit here, express spirit here in different ways. And if we really want to know the fullness of that and the joy and the highest self aspect of that, then we engage in healing. Because again, we have two operating systems. When we awaken to the fact that we are spirit incarnate, we awaken to the additional fact that heart is the operating system that runs this, that uh, that guides us into all of these other things. And so when I say that these are tools, they're tools to help us explore self. So you could spend years learning about oracle cards. You could spend some time, take courses about journaling and writing, and about the benefits of using things that represent the elements like candles, and how different resources can be used to call in and collect information that we can use. But it doesn't start with, it does not start with, I've got to learn all this stuff. It starts with, I want to know me. When that happens, then the most important part of us, that heart self, this energy center right here, this energy center right here, is protected. is valued above all else, above the way you relate to others, of what you do for others or to others. Uh, it is about knowing self. That's what this life is really about, why we come here. And it's a great joy. And it's wonderful that nature exists, that we can, well, let me just back up for a minute, because I do want this to be a short video. I use all of the things that I showed you. I use any messages that I receive from the wind, from plants, from the spirit in those, from the, like I've showed you before, right out here close to me is this rock. These aren't weird things. These are things that every single one of us can know if we want to know self, if we want to live here in joy, in significance, in fullness. That's it. And so, because of that, I would like to tell you this. I might speak about these tools at times and teach you some stuff about them. I listen to others like Chrissy Sawyer, who got me onto the cards there, and I did want to mention Chrissy because she and I are going to be doing a collaboration video on Tuesday of this coming week. And I want you to know that the most important thing is not some great teachers or books are not. The most important thing is knowing you, and knowing that you are spirit incarnate, knowing that heart is the operating system that we function in once we know spirit incarnate, and that means that we have access to our intuition in a very full way, and that intuition will guide us to the tools that we need along the way, and to the interpretation of those tools, not to somebody else's ideas of what they should be, but how they apply to and work for knowing this self. And I wanted to encourage you about this today, maybe this weekend. And an additional thing that I would like you to know: if you are dropping in and you think, I want to know more, I want to understand more, because Mike isn't very clear all the time. Well, if you want to speak specifically and personally and individually, I'm going to leave my contact information in terms of in the form of email below in the caption. And if you would like to work with me, we can work via Zoom, or if you're here in the St. Louis area, we could work personally, in person. Then contact me. If you want to be a soul explorer, and that's what I think I'm going to call this, if you wish to be a soul explorer in exploring yourself and discovering the greatness of who you are in your individual expression of spirit, and how that you fits into this great unity of all this stuff and accesses and taps into it. If you want to do that on a more personal basis, then I'd like to work with you. So I'll leave the email, I'll leave you this encouragement, and I'll leave you with the thought that healing in and into love and light is a wonderful, great life experience, life purpose. And it doesn't have to be, a purpose doesn't have to be any more than that. You'll know the other things. So, welcome, and I would leave you in love and peace. Thanks for being here.